Hey everybody, Brooke Sann here. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the greatest things we can do for our children. And I want to refer you back to a video I made a couple weeks ago, Our Job as a Mom. I want you to watch that first or finish this one and then go watch that one because it's going to be talking a little bit deeper about some of those points. Okay, so the first part is what we're talking about today is our job as a mom is to love them, offer help, and hold them accountable. So today we're going to be taking it a step further. How do we offer them help? And how do we hold them accountable? But I want to kind of bring you to a different way of looking at it. I want you to think about helping versus rescuing, or empowering versus enabling. And where that gets a little blurry as a parent. Sometimes we think that when we do things for our children, we're helping them, and I want to kind of dig into that a little bit today. Okay, so the difference between empowering and enabling. So empowering our children is giving them the tools and the skills to be able to choose for themselves. That also means that they have the opportunity to make mistakes. Okay, enabling them is doing everything for them, taking their ability to choose away from them and their ability to make mistakes. Because if we do everything for them, they don't have the opportunity to make a mistake and to choose for themselves, okay? Because we're doing it all for them. So at the end of this video, and I want to remind you all, please subscribe and give me a like if you want to see more of these videos. And hold on to the end, because at the end we're going to talk about what happens when we don't do these things. And it might seem very real for you in your life. Okay, so we want to offer them help, right? That's one of our duties and responsibilities as a parent. My parents, when we were growing up, they had these really famous lines. They would always say things like, and I never knew it until now I'm a parent, how can I help you with that? When they saw me struggling to do something or fix something or get ready for a project or whatever I was doing, they would say, how can I help you? Or I got up late and I was running around like a crazy person and we had to go. And my mom, instead of saying, get this, do that, hurry up, here's your book bag, here's this, she would say, how can I help you? Or the other thing that they would say is, what's your plan? Which I loved, because asking these questions to our children allows us to help them, but allows them to think for themselves. And that is really important, because a lot of times we're 5 steps ahead of them, right? Like, think about a child's brain we're not fully developed until the age of 25. So just barely are we developed in our thinking and are able to establish ideas and philosophies and theories, right? And understand how things work. Our children have a little baby brain and they're still trying to figure things out. And so if we take their ability to choose away from them, if we don't give them opportunities to plan and think for themselves at a young age, then by the time they become teenagers, they're really struggling. They don't have it figured out. They haven't had an opportunity to make mistakes, to make choices and have consequences. We've taken that away from them. So what I'm offering you is, let's at any age, even if it's today, you're starting today, instead of telling them what to do, ask them, how can I help you in this? What is your plan? Asking them these questions allows them to think for themselves, them to feel empowered to be able to choose, and also to make mistakes, which is the crucial part of our existence here on earth. Okay, so my parents always gave me these choices, gave me these opportunities to make mistakes, to fail, really, right? When I was young, they would always say, well, what did you decide? What do you think about this? And that gave me the opportunity to think. So we want them to think, plan, and act for themselves. I'm gonna say it again, because this is important. We want them to think, make a plan, and act for themselves. And we are here. We can help them, brainstorm with them in their thinking process. They tell us a plan. We can talk out different scenarios. And then if they say, hey, mom and dad, I really want to do this, we can say, absolutely. We support you. We will help you. Let them take the lead. Let them make these decisions for themselves. Okay, so why don't we? Why do we not? It seems so simple when I say it, right? Everyone's like, okay, Brooke, that's easy. But why don't we do that? Why do we enable them? Why do we do it for them? We think we're helping them, but a lot of times we're just doing it for them. So I can tell the answer. The reason we do it for them, the reason we rescue our children, the reason we enable them is because we don't want them to have any negative emotion. We don't want them to feel any physical or emotional pain. And guess what? We also don't want to feel it. So sometimes we run around trying to take care of our children and do everything for them because we don't want them to get in trouble, or we don't want them to, miss out on something or be late for something. We don't want them to make a choice that has any negative consequences whatsoever. And as they get older and they become teenagers and then young adults, we're trying to get them into this college and get them this job and get them into this program and help them buy this house and give them money for this. We're trying to do all these things for them. We're enabling them so they don't have an opportunity to choose. They don't. Now, it seems so simple, but it's hard. Sometimes we don't even realize we're doing it. So let's talk about this accountability. Again, bringing us back to my first point, our duties and responsibilities as a mom is to offer help, love them, offer help, and hold them accountable. So let's talk about accountability. I love talking about consequences. As a parent, this is a crucial part of being a parent, right? Is designing and holding consequences and all that. So for everything in life, there is a consequence. It's a positive or negative, right? If we work out, we lose weight. If we work hard, we get a good grade, right? Or there's negative consequences. So I'm going to break it down into two types of consequences. So we have an established consequence, which is what we decide, and we have natural consequences. So two types, natural and established. So as an established consequence, that's where the mommy and the daddy come in and they say, here are the rules and regulations that we are going to hold you to. This is what we expect. If we don't meet this expectation, this is the consequence, right? So that's when we have curfews. We establish a curfew. That's when we establish losses of privileges. Hello, screen time, right? If you don't do this, you're going to lose screen time. That's when we have timeouts. If you hit your brother, you're going to have to sit in your room or whatever it is. And then we have natural consequences, which I absolutely love. Natural consequences are so great because we don't have to do anything. It's the natural progression of a choice they make. So let's talk about, physical or emotional pain. If they, I'm trying to think, if they jump off of a snowmobile, that might have happened at our house, you're going to feel physical pain and get hurt, right? We don't want them to do this, but this is a natural consequence of a choice that they make. Another thing is if they go outside without a coat on, they're going to be cold. If they stay up really late and don't go to bed, the next day they're going to be tired. If they choose not to eat dinner, they're going to be hungry. Let me think of another one. If we're driving recklessly in a car as a teenager, we might get in a car accident or smash our car into a tree or something. These are natural consequences for our children's choices, also for ours. Okay? So all of their choices dictate the outcome. And this is what we have to remember as a parent, is we want them to have the ability to choose anything at any time, right? Whether it's an established consequence or a natural consequence, it's their ability to choose. Sometimes my son might be so mad because he's like, oh, I can't believe I lost screen time. I'm so mad. I'm like, well, buddy, that was your choice. You chose to not get whatever done, and naturally you lost screen time. That was a rule that we established, and he knew what to expect and what happens when we don't do what we're asked to do. And so we remind them all the time, but that was your choice. They need to start visually seeing what happens in any choice that they make, whether it's a positive or a negative. They need to see the effects of their choices at a young age, at a teenager age, at a young adult age, even at our age, right? We all have choices and we have consequences that follow. Okay, so this brings me to my last point here. What happens when we enable, when we rescue? a lot of things happen. And I want to share this with you because I want you to think about it, why you're choosing to enable and what happens, the long-term effects. So the first thing that we want to think about is we are not giving our children the opportunity to learn. We are not giving them that opportunity to develop the skills to make these decisions. And then most importantly, to back up their decision making. I found myself as a young mom, I really struggled making any decision. I just didn't know what to do. I felt like I should call my mom. I didn't have that trust in myself. And so when we are enabling our children and when we are rescuing them, we are not giving them the ability to make a decision, where they're not being able to choose. They're not learning how to develop the skills to be able to back themselves up and trust themselves. Because as we get older, we need to be able to trust ourselves more and more. We need to be able to back ourselves up and say, okay, we got this. We're going to do this. This is what we decided. No matter what happens, I got you, meaning myself. Okay? The second thing is our children and even our husbands. By the way, this whole empowering versus enabling, this goes for our spouses as well. They become bitter towards us. Right? They have relied on us so much, right? And they don't want to. They're mad because they need us, because we've created it, but they naturally want to distance themselves because they want to be independent. If you look at a toddler, they want so badly to be independent. They want to be able to do everything themselves. And that is the perfect time for them to learn. Because if they're not learning at a young age, the bigger the kid, the bigger the problem, right? It gets harder. The last reason why this can be difficult, make it challenging for us, is because we, as the parents, then become resentful of the child, right? We're upset because they rely on us so much. They're calling us so much. They need so much help, but we are the ones that created it. And I don't want you to feel bad about this. I want you to open your mind to it, to just think about it, to get curious and have compassion for yourself and like, yeah, I think I have done that. And that's okay. You are not alone. 99% of human beings who are parents do this. But I want to offer you this idea that to look at it and say, yeah, maybe that has been my case for a little bit, but let's try something different. So if you want to learn a little bit more about how we can help you to empower your children versus enable them, come and see me, set up a free consultation so we can talk about what's happening and how we can create a plan for you to be able to empower yourselves, to be able to empower your children to live the life they want to live, and so that we can feel successful and established as a parent. So I hope you guys like this video. Please like, subscribe. If you want to see more videos like this, I need to know that you're watching and you're there so I can keep them coming. So hope you guys have a great week and I will see you next week. All right. Bye-bye.